Coming to you from the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. This is The Stand with your hosts Shane Williams and Lance Dobbs.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Stand. Today, we're going to do a little talk on how ISIS has a dirty bomb, and the Pentagon has already confirmed it, and what they're going to try and do with it.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be what I like to call Mercy broadcast. The reason being because of the nuclear threats that are happening around the world, who has them, and what they might possibly do with them. Like Lance said, UN and the FBI and the government has confirmed of ISIS having a nuke. We already seen what they have done across the world and other countries, including our artifacts and everything else like that, where they just blow up everything. Um, now the crisis is also within North Korea, saying that they successfully tested a hydrogen bomb about a month ago or so. Now they're also testing the ICBM, which is a long-range missile, which possibly can strike California or beyond, or possibly
Just
Washington.
the West Coast, mainly.
We also have Saudi Arabia, which I mentioned in a previous episode, saying that they also have uh, nukes and everything else like that. So, with the threat of nuclear fallout happening, it looks like we're going back into a Cold War, not but from like the 80s, but not with the Russians, but it looks like from the rest of the world and everything else like that.
And so, another thing is ISIS has been so they got a nuke, and now they're trying to make it a dirty nuke by just getting depleted, like plutonium or depleted uranium,
Right.
any of this radioactive material, just to make it to where it'll just cause massive radiation, so it'll just make everybody sick that doesn't die from the blast. So they've been stealing it from Russia for the past couple years now. They took a whole bunch of depleted, I think, radioactive material from Iraq, which was the last report, and so they're just getting all this dirty stuff, dirty radioactive material, and they're going to put it into the nuke, and then once the nuke goes off, it's just going to shoot it everywhere.
Right. While a nuke, is a big threat and everything else like that, it's going to take out a lot of people uh, up to a city size and beyond, and then lasting for 30 years with the radiation and everything else like that.
Chernobyl.
Yeah, Chernobyl, Hiroshima. Um, you look at those places, and they're just now coming out of the nuclear radiation. But from what I'm seeing and everything else, and what just backs me up even further, is the FBI now states that we are at a crisis where it's going to be an EMP attack, that they've been revving up for that and everything else like that. Which, in the long term, EMP will do more destruction and everything else like that. Now you're saying, why an EMP, which is electric magnetic pulse, and not just a new kit?
See, well, my thoughts is I think it'll just be a nuke hit. They're just going to go for mass devastation. Shane has the opposite. It's the EMP hit.
Right. Well, if they take out our power grid, where we could be looking at within the first couple of seconds, is just all the airplanes that are flying around American airspace now are going to be falling into the Earth, which is possibly around 4,000 flights, give or take. So imagine 4,000 fully loaded airplanes, jumbo jets, crashing into the Earth, into the United States and stuff like that. You can only imagine the destruction. You've seen it, 9/11 stuff like that. Um,
They won't be probably hitting planes. I mean, hitting towers. They'll just be crashing.
exactly. Yeah, good point. Not going to be crashing into towers or anything. Just be crashing into random objects where the plane's going to fall at. So a plane can hold up to a couple hundred people. So you imagine that times 4,000. We're looking at 100,000 plus people dying in an instant. Um, Over the course of a week, you're looking at over possibly 10% of the population is going to be left, uh, just because of the rioting and everything else is going to happen in a major city. Uh, if you look back on the Rodney King riots and everything, uh, first couple of hours, people were looting, raiding, going to stores, killing people, and everything else. So
It's just mass chaos.
mass chaos with the first couple of days, and then people are finally going to catch on to what's going on, and try to grab resources and everything else like that. In the way of doing it, to grab resources and stuff like that, they're going to go after other people and everything, like
Their
you see in
neighbors,
The Walking Dead.
Albertsons,
You
all
know,
that.
yeah, exactly. So you could possibly see what's going to happen in Walking Dead. And, you know, there's multiple movies where, you know, you have Day After Tomorrow and everything else. Those movies. So that's where I see ISIS and possibly North Korea using their nuclear weapons. If you want to have something more like what Lance is going for, something that's instant and will have more of a shock value, I would see a nuclear blast.
So, you just said what I was gonna say.
Sorry, but yeah, but with a nuclear blast and everything else like that, yeah, it's going to have more of the shock value. But for the most part, it's not going to do, I think, the damage that they're looking for. Uh, so with an EMP, you know, you want to have basic survival skills. Um,
But the thing is, if they EMP us, I mean, there's still going to be the rest of the world that's going to go against them. So,
right. But at that point in time, you know, you take out one of the greatest superpowers, what's left? You know, who's really going to stand up to you at that point?
I mean, there has been talks of Russia and Putin and
Right.
Germany all going against Muslim people in general. Russia just doesn't like them. I mean, there's news articles every day, every month about Russia trying to nuke ISIS, going to shoot missiles at them. Just generally, because so the last we'll talk about the last terrorist attack
Right.
from that was in Russia was they held a theater and there's 40 terrorists that were in there, and so Russia just gassed the whole theater, ended up going in and killing all the terrorists because they don't put up with any of that. They don't want to send them to prison or anything. They just have a direct execution, and they ended up killing a whole bunch of their own people because the gas just made you all go to sleep. But they ended up saving like 80% of their civilians that were in that theater. So I mean, Russia has a zero tolerance policy. They will just kill you.
Right. So kill the majority, kill the minority for the majority.
So yeah, my personal thing is like I think Russia is just waiting for someone to pull the trigger against Muslims, and then they will join.
Whoever country is going
Whatever
to
country starts.
start that war.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then America will probably be against it because
We're funding and aiding ISIS.
so, and then it'll start to World War III, and then that's where we'll go.
That's very interesting. So Joe Skousen, I've done some research on him. He's one of the leading top experts on survivalist and strategic training and stuff like that. Recommend that you look into his books and everything else. But he talks about strategic location and what to look for. So the three things of survival that you're going to need is food, water, and shelter. Without those three, pretty much you're looking at a 0% chance of going any further. I mean, it's just a lot of information out there, folks, that deal with survival and stuff. So in case of an EMP, you want to always have some type of go bag and something in your car or stuff at home that's easily accessible, and also you want to have a firearm to defend yourself. Like you said, we're going to have all these articles posted that's showing nuclear threats, EMP threats, and again, this is worst case scenario. I hope it doesn't happen. But you look at the articles and you find out the information that's going on, and now the FBI has warned that an EMP is possible. I don't know. There's no words for it. It's just really no words for it. So just be prepared. That's the only thing I can really recommend at this point. Because if a nuclear blast does hit London, as ISIS is threatening recently, that's just going to be huge. It's just going to send the whole world into a catastrophic war, nuclear war. Hopefully not, and it's just going to be bad for everybody.
This is Lance and Shane signing off.